Hello, everyone, and welcome to NFL Week 1 picks for the 2020 season. I'm going to be doing one of these videos every single week, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a ton of streams. I am an avid Bears fan, so I'm going to be doing quite a bit of Bears streams. I will be streaming for their Week 1 game against the Lions. But my goal is to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of 2020 to maybe have something good from 2020. So be sure we're only 100 away, so I'm pretty sure we can do it. I don't mean to beg for subscribers, but I do kind of want to hit that. So you don't have to, just if you want to. But anyway, we have 16 games. No one is on a bye. I'm going to be keeping track of my weekly records and season-long records. So like I'm 0-0, obviously, because there haven't been any games yet. But I'm going to be keeping track of that. Also, I have a streak pick, which is every single week I pick the game that I'm the most confident in, but I can only pick that team once. So let's say I pick the Bears to beat the Lions. I can't pick the Bears again for the rest of the season. And we see how far we can end up going with that. Last year I got knocked out on week 2, so that was great. But hopefully that doesn't happen again this year. So without further ado, let's get into the Week 1 picks. We have our Thursday night matchup. The defending Super Bowl champions always get the first Thursday night game, except for last year when the Bears got it. I have no idea. But the Kansas City Chiefs will be hosting the Houston Texans. This is a new-look Texans team without DeAndre Hopkins, but with the addition of David Johnson. I do see the Chiefs riding off a ton of momentum off their Super Bowl win. I think they're still a great team, and they added Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the offseason. I do think that Texas will have their hands full. They'll keep it close for as long as they can, but the Chiefs will pull away in the end. I will be doing a full game stream for this game. Also, the second game we're doing a full game stream for my Bears, traveling to Detroit to take on the Lions. I think this is going to be a close competitive game, but I do see the Bears coming on top. Trubisky has been named the starter, and he does very well against the Lions. Hopefully he can do that again. I do see the Bears coming away with the win. The Lions are by far and away the worst team in that division. Secondly, we have, also at noon, the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. I do see Seattle getting this win. If you guys didn't watch my season-long picks video, I suggest you go check that out. It is a good video. I do have the Seahawks being the #1 seed in the NFC, and I think they start their journey there with a win at Atlanta. My streak pick, I think the Buffalo Bills are going to beat the New York Jets. There are a lot of games this week where it's like either a bad team's playing a bad team or a pretty good team's playing a pretty good team. There's a ton of those. And I do think that this was like the only one I could find, besides like maybe Indiana. But this was like the only one where I really found a good team beating a not-so-good team. So I'm going to take Buffalo for my streak pick. I think they can easily beat the Jets. I like their new additions they made with Stephon Diggs. And I think they're making the right moves. I think Josh Allen's going to have his breakout year this year. This is another one I thought about, but I have the Eagles defeating the Washington football team. They're going to be the worst team in the NFL. You cannot tell me otherwise. I'm going to say Washington's going to be the worst team in the NFL. They have I don't know how good Dwayne Haskins is going to be. He hasn't been good throughout he hasn't been great throughout his first 2 years in the NFL. And Alex Smith still isn't on a full knee. Their defense is really bad. They did get Chase Young, so we'll see how he does. But I do think Philly can be able to come away with a win. I had the Las Vegas Raiders. That sounds weird saying that. I do have the Vegas Raiders defeating the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are going to be a pretty bad team this year. I don't really know. I think they're probably going to be in the running for one of those top draft picks. I don't see them having a very good year. I think Las Vegas should be able to come into Carolina and get a win. I had the Colts defeating the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are... to think that this team was 10 minutes away from reaching the Super Bowl is unbelievable, considering they lost Yannick Ngakoue. They lost that entire team. They are not doing really well. It's Gardner Minshew and a ton of bums, and I'm not sure Gardner Minshew isn't that great either. I know tell you guys love him, but he's really not that great of a quarterback. I do think Indianapolis will have a very good, easy time with them. I have the Ravens defeating the Browns 42-35. This is going to be a very good game. I do think that Cleveland is going to shock some people this year with their new coaching change. I think they finally have a pretty good coach. Not a good coach, but better than the worst coach in the NFL last year in Freddie Kitchens. I do think with the good players they have, they're going to turn a corner, and I think they're going to defeat the Ravens. I also feel bad for Odell Beckham. I think you guys know why, because stuff spreads around the internet so fast. And I don't even think I know. I doubt that's true. What they said about Odell. It might be true, and if so, I mean, it doesn't matter. You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. I think the Chargers will defeat the Bengals in a close game in Joe Burrow's debut. I'm interested to see how he does. I do see the Chargers coming away with a win late in this one. I thought the Chargers were going to be a really good team, but they lost Rivers, and I don't know how good Taylor is going to do. Derwin James out for the entire year. However, I still think they're better than the Bengals, and I think they end up getting a win. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing to the Saints 44-31. Yes, Brady and everyone on that team, Gronk and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans is a great receiver. They have no defense. Their defense is not good at all. And I think with the dynamic Chase offense with Breeze, Kamara, Thomas, they're going to just pick them apart. I think Tampa's going to probably have to try to outscore New Orleans, and I don't see that happening. I see New Orleans running away with a slugfest late in this one. And I have the 49ers defeating the Cardinals 21-17. I think, I'm sorry for the glare. I'm trying to, circumvent that by, tilting this and, blocking it. I do think that San Francisco is going to beat Arizona. I think our defense is still really good. Jimmy G, they're angry after losing the Super Bowl. I don't think Arizona is ready to take that next step up in the division. I think they get to third this year. I don't see them having a very good time on the road. I think San Francisco is going to win. The last two games, I forgot about them to the end. I had to put them back up there. Green Bay and Miami. Green Bay and Minnesota, and then Miami and New England. I think Green Bay is going to lose to Minnesota 31-28 to probably my two least favorite teams. But I do think this is going to be a very close competitive game. I do think Minnesota is the better team. I think Dalvin Cook turns a corner this year. And I think they basically just traded out Stephon Diggs for Justin Jefferson. I think Jefferson might be better, to be completely honest with you. But I do think that Minnesota should be able to win a close competitive game against Green Bay. And now, my upset pick of the week. You guys know me. I like to have at least one upset pick every week. And this week, I think it's going to be Miami beating New England. I don't know how New England's going to handle that new culture. It's not necessarily a culture change because you still got Belichick there, but it's a new look Patriots team, and I don't know how they're going to handle their first week. And Miami's looking really good after the offseason. They got Byron Jones. They got two. I'm thinking Tua is going to do pretty well on his debut. I think Miami comes away with a strong defensive win against New England. Think about it, they beat New England in the last game of the regular season last year. Miami ended the season very well. They were 0-12 and then got 6 wins in a row. They really looked hot to end last year. I think they start this year with a win too. That's my upset pick of the week. Sunday Night Football, we have the Cowboys taking on the Rams, and I don't think the Rams are going to be a very good team this year. They don't really have that much of a running game. The defense lost a lot of pieces. I think Dallas is definitely the far better team, and I think they end up pulling away with a high-scoring win on the road. Now, our Monday night doubleheader, Pittsburgh and New York. I think this one is going to go to Pittsburgh. I do think that the Giants, I think Daniel Jones takes a step forward this year. I think they're going to be better than last year, but I don't think they're good enough to beat the Steelers. I think the Steelers are still a very good team. I'm not a huge believer in the Steelers, though, but I do think they can come away with a win on Monday Night Football. And lastly, the second game is Denver and Tennessee. I'm really high on Tennessee. I am not high on Denver at all. I don't know why a lot of people like Denver. I don't see it. But I think Tennessee, I think they unlocked Pandora's box last year in the playoffs. They're like, hey, let's just run halfback dive every play. So I think they win this game with defense. Their defense is really good, Kevin Byard, and they just got Jadeveon Clowney. So that defense is for real. And I think Derrick Henry runs them to a win. I think they win a low-scoring game at Mile High. I think they win 14-3. So I hope you guys enjoyed the NFL picks. Let me know your picks down below. Let me know if you disagree at all. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.